The second essay of the free response section is always going to be a prose fiction analysis essay. So they're going to give you a passage of prose, maybe about 100 lines or so. You're going to have to read it and write an essay that answers the prompt. Let's take a look at this sample. I'm going to follow my procedure that I follow for anything else. The first step is always to read the prompt. Read it carefully, read it multiple times, figure out what it's asking. So here's what the prompt says. It says the following is an excerpt from Persuasion, a novel by Jane Austen published in 1817. So I know this is an older passage. It's from Jane Austen. I've read her before. That's a good sign. In this passage, the protagonist, the main character, Anne, is reunited with her former fiancé, Captain Wentworth, years after her father deemed him unsuitable for marriage. So a little bit of drama here, right? Anne is meeting Captain Wentworth. She wasn't allowed to marry him because her father didn't approve. He was unsuitable. Read the passage carefully. Then, in a well-written essay, analyze how Austen uses literary elements and techniques. That's pretty broad and vague, and this is the language you're going to say every time. Literary elements and techniques to express the dynamic of the couple situation. Now, that's the key part. That isn't just the boilerplate language. What is the dynamic of the couple situation? Not Again, what is the setting of the story? What about the narrative arc? What about plot? What about character? It's about their situation. Jane Austen is talented enough of a writer to create a moment, to create an occasion, to create an experience of what these two people are going through. So what literary elements and techniques is she using to express that? And here again, I get these 4 bullet points that give you a clue about how this is going to be scored. The first point of the 6 points on the rubric says that you need to respond to the prompt, so this prompt, not some other prompt, with a thesis. So you need a clearly identifiable thesis, 1 to 2 sentences at the end of that first paragraph, ideally, that presents a defensible interpretation. So when they say defensible interpretation, they're saying your thesis could be defended with evidence. Even if you don't actually defend it with evidence, you can still earn the thesis point. You could literally finish your essay at the end of the first paragraph, you'll earn that thesis point, but you won't get any points for the rest of the rubric. So you need to make sure that you're not just providing evidence, you're explaining how that evidence supports your interpretation. And so that's what will help you earn these up to 4 points that you can earn for evidence and commentary. And finally, they remind you that you need to use appropriate grammar and punctuation in communicating your argument. So now that I've read the prompt, I'm ready to read the passage. What I'm going to do is keep the prompt in mind. The prompt wants me to talk about the dynamic of the couple's situation. So as we read, let's read for that.